So let's begin. So this is the first set of slides and I put them under chapter 1. So what is Blender? Blender is a very popular video production software free of charge. It has a built-in video sequencer, and I'm gonna explain to you what a video sequencer is in a bit. And it is used to edit videos in a non-linear way. What else? It is very intuitive, very easy to use, and we're gonna I hope you're gonna find it a very interesting tool to use. So we're gonna learn about workspace in Blender. We're gonna talk about the compartments, the different components of the workspace of the Blender interface. We're gonna talk about this video sequencer over here, the video preview. So as I'm speaking, let me just explain. This is the video sequencer in Blender. This is the video view, and over here are the settings. So usually we add any video strips, we call it, or stripes. We add them on these rows, and these rows we call them the channels in the sequencer. All right. So this is the video view. This is the sequencer. These lines, for example, this dark row here, and then a gray row, and then dark row, and then a gray row. These we call them channels in the sequencer. And when we add here a video, for example, very easy, as I tell you here, add a video or add a movie. When you add a video, the video strip or the video stripe will be added on whatever channel is activated. All right? Okay. I am burning steps. In fact, I have step-by-step explanation of everything. So let's talk about we've done this step already. This is the installation requirements. And over here, I think I got a video over here, right? Let me just pause as for now, and I would like you to watch this video with me. If the video is not very clear in my recording, please stop my recording and watch the video on separately.
Hello everyone and welcome to Blender. Blender is a fantastic open source software that is mostly known for its 3D animation and modeling capabilities. It's a very powerful software that's been used in feature films, games, TV series, and a bunch of other amazing projects such as the ones you see here. But it can also do much more than that. Video editing, compositing, painting, sculpting, visual effects, cloth simulation, particle simulation, fluid and smoke simulations, 3D printing, and as of recently, 2D animation and real-time rendering. So, if you want to learn about any of these, you've come to the right place. This video series will serve as an encyclopedia of sorts for the fundamentals of Blender. In the next few videos, I'll be going over certain topics that should be helpful for both beginners and veteran Blender users, especially with the recent update. So, I hope you find these videos helpful, and I'll see you all soon.
This is a very interesting video, and I have the link for it. It's the beginning of a playlist. I thought maybe some of you are looking. It happens to me that students will ask me for a book to read, or a novel even. One student asked me if they don't want to read really books, something interesting to do during winter time. So if you are looking for something interesting to do, this may be a very nice skill to learn how to do animation and work with animation and short videos. If you would like it, then I suggest this series for you. All right, so now let's begin. We're going to talk first of all about the editing a video footage in Blender. So you would need this specific window to manipulate and handle any type of data, either a video footage being a picture or a video footage being a video. So where do you get this special window that has all these options? In fact, this is in the previous edition, but right now you can get this window to pop up through the corner icon, which a little bit changing. This is the editor type. It's a little bit different, the icon, but the position of it is still the same. So I'm going to keep my slides as is, just an indication of how this is maybe how many years I'm teaching this. Maybe this is my second year. So I'm not really 10 years of experience, and I can easily see how the interface is getting better and better and better over time. Only 1 year, and there are already some little changes, and I will point them out as I go. So this is where you get some of the options. We will gonna barely use any of that. So you can swap the windows, the window type in Blender for any others. Try it to select any of these. That will swipe the window. But to change your window type, you can use the small selector over here on the bottom, and as you can see, this is available on the left hand side of each division, and you can change the interface. So for example, now you want to do text editor, it is different. You want to do 3D view, here it is. You want to go back 3D to video sequencer, here's the video sequencer. Same applies here. So you want to add a composer instead of to composite things, here it is, instead of just the folder or shared editor or. Now I need to find the folder outline, was it? File browser, okay. All right, so now you got the point, all right? Next, this is what we call it, the video sequencer. So to edit or manipulate any videos, you must use this window that we call it the video sequencer, so that you can add videos on different channels. These rows, as you can see in black and gray, these horizontal spaces are called the channels or layers. So if you are familiar a little bit with PS, Photoshop PS or Photoshop in general, the idea of Photoshop is to add different layers. And this is similarly doing the same thing. So you are adding a video on different layers. Let me explain a little bit more about how to create a composition of different videos. Let's say I have a video that I'm entering the building, and then next after in my story, I am already in the classroom and giving a boring lecture as I'm doing right now. Anyway, so the first video that I would like to show should be positioned on the top layer or the top channel. All right, let me just explain this way. So I'm gonna add the first stripe of video that I'm entering the building over here, let's say, and then next to it I can add another video when I'm in the classroom. So I can organize, or I can place the video back to back on the same channel. All right, another option could be if I would like to make a transition. For example, I would like to show one video fading out slowly as the other video is starting to show. So there is an overlap. So I need an overlap. So I'm going to add a video on the very top channel, or maybe here on the channel 4, for example, which is as long as these two blocks. And then the second video where I'm in the classroom, I'm gonna place it a little bit slightly below the end of the first video forward, so that I can get this overlapping area, and we can start doing what we call it a transition, a fading effect. So what does that mean? This means that the video placed on the very top channel will show first because it's on the top, and then the video right after that, anything occluded and hidden underneath this video will not show or play unless it is a music file. So any music file, it is a good practice to just place it at the very bottom below the video stripe. So I hope we are going to work with it practically, and you will easily understand what I'm talking about. So basically you want to know if you're placing one video on channel 5, another video from the very beginning until its end onto channel 3, which is lower than channel 5, then only the video on the top channel will be showing. The video placed underneath it will not show, and there's no reason why would you actually place a video underneath it. All right, previewing a video. As you can see over here, this is the sequencer. So over here, this is the sequencer. It's good enough. Why? Because the sequencer / preview is not important in my case, because over here I have the preview. So this is why I like this arrangement, and I hope that you will follow my arrangement. So here's the sequencer and here's the preview. Imagine if you want to change this to sequencer and preview. Again, it is duplicate, so there is no need. I had this done for us so we can easily work together. After you enable the video preview space, you might experience performance issues to your computer. So make sure I'm gonna help you out with this performance issue. So please don't worry. Let's get started. So over here, you want, this is what I told you earlier about, I'm going to show you in class how to get to the video editing on Blender. So you go, if you have missed the splash screen. So basically, at the very top, you have a plus sign. That plus sign, you just move to video editing from the 3D view. All right, let's get started. We talked about this. The video sequencer, preview, video sequencer channels, I just talked about them. A graph editor, we're not going to talk about it. The timeline. Timeline is basically hidden below the video sequencer. And it is the keyframes here. We call these keyframes, not the channels. We call them keyframes. So this is the main difference. The timeline, we call these lines and arrangements as keyframes. Over here, we call them channels. The main difference here is that at the top of this screen, you can see the new workspace. I'm saying here, I'm sorry, the timeline here, basically it is delineated in terms of time, but some of you might say, so what is this? This is in terms of time, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Now, what is this? The one on, and we're not going to use the timeline. So I'm not going to explain too much about it and confuse you and waste time. We're just going to use the video sequencer throughout our course. And what is this on top? This is basically time and frame. So the explanation is on one of my slides, so I'm going to go over it in due course. I suggest for all my students to go to view and get rid of seconds. Get rid of the seconds. This way you're going to end up only with the frames, as you can see here. So this is easier for you to understand. As I told you in class earlier, any video is made up of a set of frames or pictures lined up one after another. So this is the number of frames or pictures per second. So this is 10, 20, 30 frames, 40 frames, all the way up until a little over 240 frames. This is the space here. You can see that it is highlighted a little bit. So this is the area that is defined, the work area that it's defined for us. So I hope now you learned this very nice step. Please always, when you start working with the sequencer, if you want, this is a very good suggestion for you to get rid of the seconds. All right, now let's begin, shan't we? But let me see if the video is too long so that we can record. So now I am here 15 seconds, 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna see you then in the next video. We try our best to keep the videos as short as possible. In the next video, we're gonna start importing video footage and working with it. See you next.